In this video, I wanted to share with you two ways you could implement FP&A solution. Detail engines, then consolidated frame, or consolidated frame and detail engines later. The first way is build the engines first and the output later. This is the most common we've seen in the example of food manufacturing implementation here. We've got a typical 9 months projects where we first address functional areas one by one, build different engines, connect them together. We started with profitability and cost allocation, then went on for new product launch, later CapEx and other cost engines. Those engines would be released in the individual departments and users, and they are ready. So you get the value without waiting to the end. And at the end, the goal is what I like to call the planning and reporting frame. Core model for planning and reporting, including standard financial statements and the logic connecting them. That's what we did mostly in the past, but we had a recent client that wanted to start from the end. That client was a dynamic telecommunication company, and they were telling us, we are not really sure what we want to plan. We are fairly young, growing very fast, and we are just catching up with systems and processes. So we are making things up as we are going along. Can we start with having this block at the end first? And we figure out the rest later. That triggered a lot of thinking. Hey, how will that work? We don't normally do it like this. So what we ended up with is quite refreshing approach. We essentially built for them the frames first with very simple input logic for planning and added to it the classic reporting for 3 financial statements, including the logic for connections between them, which is not so different between the companies and industries. There is a potential to use accelerator. I'll come back to that in a minute. So it's something that you can do in weeks, not in months. And when you do all the detail engines, the client got the value very quickly of having a quite comprehensive model for reporting and planning, where you can input your budget figures or import it from Excel. And it ended up in a more complex model that would realize even more value in different areas later via better transparency and granularity. So yeah, two ways, very different approach. Which way is better? After giving it a lot of thinking, I came to a classic answer in consulting: it depends. Narrowed this down to 3 main considerations. The first one is, where is your burning need? If you have a specific model to tackle, for example, your sales guys are wasting a lot of money in Excel, resubmitting their forecast numbers every week, they're not spending time with your clients, let's give them the tool. Let's digitalize this process. Let's give them more time to sell. In situations like this, that makes sense. Let's do that and digitalize the bigger picture later. And the areas you want to look at is, where is the quickest time to value plus the highest benefits I can get? So where can I put that system quickly and get me the returns? So that's what you're looking for. The second point would be, consider how mature is your process. It doesn't need to be rethinked, because if you start tackling different pieces and you change your mind later, you don't really have the best practice nailed. It might cost you rework, so consider that. Lastly, do you know how you want to plan? That second example today was showing that sometimes you're not really sure how you want to plan. There is a need for something we call minimum viable product, have it quick. That would give you time to figure out the detail later. That company was growing so fast, they had to reinvent how they do things. So for them, the second approach made perfect sense. And that brings us to the accelerator I've mentioned before. What we've produced as Provident is an accelerator to help our clients with the frame, regardless of the approach. We did it in 2 technologies, both leaders in the EPM market, Anaplan and JEDOX. We have created something that is quite comprehensive that would normally take approximately 50 days to build from scratch. So our clients can have a very quick start and can finish quicker depending on the approach they take. It's very easy to install, days not weeks, so you can get the benefits even faster. That's all for now. I'm very interested in what you think, which way is better, how many more factors should we consider to make the decision on the approach. Looking forward to your comments. If you want to learn more, get in touch. Thanks for watching and have a good day.